your own. If it was a house and you were going to get it appraised, then you would, they need to gain access to the house. But if it's just land, then
Well,
they
there is a house on the land. It's basically dilapidated, but
okay.
dilapidated. Yeah, but there is a house on. So I do need her for the house, even though it is. I mean, either for the house, even though it's torn down and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, if you're going to pay for the appraisal,
I was.
you would just only need her to get access to the house. But if it's dilapidated and it's open and you can just walk in there, then you're
Hmm.
probably. I mean, you can just do it on your own. I would usually. I'd probably at least get an email confirmation from her that you have her permission to have it appraised. But
Okay.
yeah, it shouldn't be
Okay.
any challenges. The issue
Okay.
that people run into with that. Well, you said there's a house on there, so that means that there's utilities there.
Correct. Well, there's possible utilities because in some of those, well, a septic is still a utility, so
Yeah.
there had to be heat. If he lived there, you're right. There had to be some type of utilities.
Okay, I was about to say that might be some slave quarters, some old slave quarters.
Wait a minute. Hey, Otis. Otis, somebody come walking out there. What you doing on this property?
I've looked at some land before, and some people have said, yeah, there's three structures on it, and I went to look, and they were cabins, like log cabins, and I didn't
Wow.
know what they expected me to do with that, except maybe get some firewood,
Right.
but but
I said, what's that out there in that field? It looked like cotton. I said, oh, really?
what's
He
the
said, what?
nearest what's the nearest major city?
It's between Greenville, North Carolina, and something in Virginia. I have to look it up. I look it up again because I
Okay.
looked it up when she told me months ago. I looked it up and I said, okay, because and the other thing is it was appraised. Well, it wasn't appraised on Zillow. It was placed on Zillow for about $49,000.
Hmm.
And so when she called me, $129,000. When she called me back, it said $49,000. And I said, oh, you changed the price of it. She said, I didn't do that. Somebody else did
Yeah, Zillow is more wishful thinking than anything else. I would actually have
that.
it. I would have
She
it
said,
appraised. I would have it
oh, yeah.
appraised.
So, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
and
So,
and she could even. There's a lot of ways to structure that. So instead of just giving up the land, because the thing about land is, it's they're not
it's
making any.
land.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
making any
land.
more of it.
Mm.
So she could structure that to where she seller finances the land, so she has some long term income coming in from that.
Not interested in that.
Now, okay, so she could take a okay.
Let me hit you with this, and
Yeah.
I'll do it quickly.
Oh,
I'd
you're fine.
suggest that she keep the land. I
Uh-huh.
said keep the land and hold on to the land. It's 3 acres on a corner lot. I suggested put some mobile homes on the land. I suggested sell the land. I suggested I raffled off a whole bunch of things. She said, oh my God, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And she disappeared for 6 months, and she called me yesterday and said, hey, I still want my money.
She
I said, so what do you want? She said, can you get, because what I suggested to her is um as a way to keep her, because she needs money. And I said, what I'll do is I'll give you maybe $15,000, and then I'll go after selling the house or moving the house or either purchase the house and go from there. But when I got back and it was 49,000, and which I found out was the tax that was what was owed on the taxes.
Mhm.
I said, I need to do a little bit more research, honey, because I don't want to put 15 out for you and it's 49.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
It,
not going to do me any good.
yeah, and if there's back taxes on it, so it sounds like time is of the essence. So if there's back
Correct.
taxes, are they trying to, foreclose to cover those taxes? Is that the issue?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Again, she called me, told me she just got the title. Is the one with the reason she said I just got the title, which I know she didn't. She had it a long time ago, but it's neither here nor there. And so she's now. And I said, well, why are you calling? She said, I need money.
Yeah.
I just need money. And I don't want to put her in the desperation thing. So okay, well, I give you $15,000. Let me have the land.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put a whole bunch of effort out, and she decides she wants to go another direction. So,
Gotcha.
um, two questions on that end. Number one, should I contract it before or after I do the appraisal? And number two, once I do the appraisal, do I sit down with her and say, let's negotiate what needs to be done, or do I just make arrangements to give her the money and let her go?
Yeah, I
But she
would
really wants 75 out of it.
I would do a purchase agreement and then have it appraised after you guys are already in contract.
Got it.
And then you can
Got it.
negotiate the price after that based on your findings.
Okay.
because
So
you don't want to, you have it
put all the
appraised,
effort and time in. Right.
yeah, and then she sells it to the next person that just comes
Yeah.
through. So yeah, I would get it under contract first, and
And
then
I'm out there get her go, I want my money.
she like JG Wentworth. Like I need my cash now.
Right. I know the group that wrote the song. Who be standing there saying, we need our cash now.
Yeah, no, I feel her, but sometimes, the land, it's really, trying to figure out what the highest and best use is. A lot of investors want to come in
Right.
and they want to get the land and they see a dilapidated property on there. You have to look at anything you build. You got to look at, okay, well, what's it going to be worth when I'm done, and what's it going to cost me to build it? And
Correct.
because if it's too rural and and you're not actually going to be living inside of it, there's no value add component there to where you can get your money back out of it. So you may be able to build it, but now you just got a house in the middle of nowhere, and for what?
Right.
You can't rent it out because because it's so rural, the income that you receive is not enough to service the debt against it that you incurred building it or rehabbing it.
Right.
So that's why I see a lot of these situations, kind of the land just kind of stay there. But I would have it appraised, and like I said, land doesn't go down in value, and they're not making any more of it.
Wow.
So the more you can get.
I hope your software or whatever equipment you're working with works well.
Yeah, it seems to be. It seems to be doing the trick. I'm like I'm a tech savvy person in my family. My dad will call me and say, "Hey, something about these emails that keep showing up in green." I said, "Dad, that's a text message. That's not an email. It don't work the same." So I'm the tech guy, but with all these new systems and all these,
that's a text message, Dad. I'm sorry.
yeah, I try to be, and he's my dad, but he's tricky because he looks so young that you don't think, but
right.
but yeah,
but he's still a dad,
he's
right?
still, yeah, he's still a dad. There's probably a VCR somewhere blinking 12 noon right now as we speak.
Right. Wait a minute. We were in Atlanta, and the radio said, "What is something, no matter how you try, you cannot explain to your parents?" And one of the ladies said, he said that there's no such thing as um not voicemail, there's no such thing. Answer machine. She said answer machines is gone. She said every time you turn around, say, Aba, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Almost drove off the road. Wait a minute. Then Otis, the next lady, she said that I'm not a lesbian because I'm not married. So I'm trying my best to convince my mama that I am not a lesbian because I'm not married. I said, wow. So yeah, I understand that.
Times are changing, man. Look, I spent 20 minutes trying to explaining to my daughter what a cell phone was.
Right.
And she just could not wrap her mind around it. I said, when we were out and we needed to make a phone call, we would just, what's up, Sam Silver? Go on mute just for a second, brother.
No problem.
When we when you're out and you need to make a call, we would just, we would pull over into the phone booth and we would put the quarter in there, and then we would call. And she'd say, okay, well, how long, how does that work? I said, well, you had so many minutes. She said, okay, well, how'd you make a call? What if you don't have any money? I said, you don't make the call. They said, well, how does anybody know where you are? Well, you tell them before you leave. Well, what if you change and you end up going it was just a catastrophic, all it was so scary for her to try to put herself in that place. And
yeah, because it was, to them, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Well, mine was when I just, you say things just without thinking.
Yeah.
Because you don't think about it. If I came to say, hey, Michael Jackson has a new album out. And so I heard some music from my son, and he said, I said, man, that's nice. I said, is that a whole album or is that just one single? And he said, a what? I said, and then I caught myself. I said, snap. This not gonna play. This is not gonna come out well. This is not gonna work out well. I said, back in the day. And so I pulled it up it was the frying pan fire scenario.
Yeah.
I pulled it up and I said, it's this right here. This is what they play. He said, so basically it was a black CD. I said, no, it's not a black CD. You know what? Never mind.
Yeah.
How do y'all talk about gather music together? He said, we just gathered music.
So my dad still sends me CDs of him and his whole singing group, like CDs. Like he's like, yeah, hey, this is me and my old group. I got it put on a CD for you to listen to. I said,
Thank
Dad,
you.
where am I play this at? Where am I? No, I went to Staples and had them convert it from where it was to a CD. So now you got it on CD. You could just take it with you. I said, Dad, I didn't have the heart to tell him that.
Just took it. Just take it.
I just took it. I was like,
just
yeah,
take
okay.
it. Just take it. Yeah, that's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate it.
All
Hey
right,
y'all.
brother.
Hey, how's everybody doing? He was doing some testing and we just was kind of shooting it while we were here. So if he's gonna do something, y'all can't. I don't know if you know any of these people down here, Jay.
I do. Hey, I'm gonna
Okay.
talk about some real estate now. They can go ahead and
Okay.
come up.
I'm gonna blink down and then I'm gonna slowly drift my way out.
And what city you in? Where are you at?
Charlotte.
You're in Charlotte. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
All right. I'll
yeah,
be there. I'll be down that way in a couple of weeks.
Dude,
my daughter's
dude.
graduation.
Keep my number. I'm gonna put it in the background. If and I mean seriously, you want to just go have some dinner because you're a good conversation. So you want to go have some dinner. We'll meet somewhere halfway, and just so I'm not crazy. We'll meet so public with a lot of people around.
Hey, I'm coming to church.
All right,
I'm coming to church.
I'm virtual, dude. I'm all virtual.
Amen.
Virtual. I had 5 churches in Atlanta.
Okay.
And I shut all of them down because I did not see the effectiveness of what somebody should be doing when it came to their love for God.
Yeah.
I saw they called me because I have a prophetic gift. Yeah. So they called me for the prophetic gift. To one Sunday, I'll never forget this. I'm not prophesying to nobody. If you can't listen to the teaching, then I don't need to be here. Right. You want prophecy? Get you a fortune teller.
Yeah.
But I'm here to teach you something so you have better lives. And so I met a woman, love at first sight. 15 minutes after meeting, I asked her to marry me. She said yes. She was in Atlanta. I was in Maryland. I said, look, I called a friend of mine. I said, guess what? You've just been blessed with 5 churches. He said, what? I said, they're all yours. They're all yours. You're kidding. He goes, no, I'm serious. And so from that point on, I went viral one time on TikTok, 7 million people. And the reason I went viral was because I told people there's nowhere in the Bible where God says for the woman to love the man. And then I taught it. I went viral. I didn't even know what viral was. So people have stopped me going, I know you. And this really pretty girl, I'll never forget that my wife was standing beside me. She goes, I know you. And I'm looking at my wife like, no, you don't know me. She goes, no, I know you. I'm like, lady. And she pulled my picture up. She said, you're everywhere. She said, you went viral. People on television. So I'm at 185,000 on TikTok, and I just keep doing what I'm doing.
That's what's up. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. So if you ever look up Uncle Dallas Talks, that's me.
Uncle Dallas. Let me write that down. Uncle Dallas Talks.
Yeah, that's on TikTok. I'm gonna give you my number on the back end. I'm gonna send it to you.
All right.
And when you're in town, dude, just let me know. If I'm in town, we go grab some. I'm in a nice place of Charlotte. They have some great restaurants here.
Okay, that'll work, sir.
All right, dude. I'm blinking down.
I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Have a good one.
Amen. Amen. Sam Silver, what's going on, brother, on TikTok? You still there?
Yep, I'm still here, brother.
How you been, man?
You know what? Living the dream. I gave 2 houses away, brother. I gave a house to a disabled firefighter, and I gave a house to a law enforcement widow.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Tunnels to Towers reached out to me. You've heard of Tunnels to Towers?
I haven't, but I do remember you allocating a certain percentage of your revenue to give back.
Absolutely. Heroes in the community, and now I'm like connected to 3 nonprofits in my community, and just living a dream. Just out there doing my TikTok videos. I don't know if you've seen a lot of my avatars.
Man, I'm so look. I had to start a whole
You're
new
so
page.
busy.
I just had to start a new page on TikTok. I go live on TikTok. I got like 3 people watching. I'm like, y'all could have just came to the house. I could have did this in my living room. It's all good.
And you got someone graduating? How exciting!
Yeah, my daughter is graduating college. She just turned 21.
Oh, how exciting! Where's she going?
North Carolina A&T, I believe. Oh, I should know that.
Nice.
I should know that. She's
North Carolina.
Super overachiever. Yeah, she lives in North Carolina, so she's graduating, but she's always graduating early. I'm anticipating her, graduating, next year or maybe the following year. And, she's always overachiever, and I don't know. I'd like to say she gets it from me, but I don't know.
You're blessed and highly favored, my friend.
Yeah, I got lucky. She's got a good mom. I think that's a lot of it. She's got a good mom.
Oh, there you go. But don't put yourself down. You were in there too.
Yeah. Don't tell her mom that though. That's between me and you. I didn't leave this room.
and the three people, right?
Yeah, the other three people. Yeah.
So what you doing with yourself? Just doing the Burr method and out there.
So I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it's funny. I was just explaining to somebody how the Burr method works, and it doesn't, even with the highest, some of the highest rents in the nation, the rental income isn't enough to service the debt when you do your cash out refinance. So typically in these high cost areas, people are doing flips, but I'm doing mostly just putting deals together for my students. So we did.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So once they go through the curriculum and they've been with me for a while, then I'll just, how you doing, Chitsani? I'll just group some together and say, all right, let's pull some money and let's go do a deal. And then we'll just do a flip, and I kind of teach them through the process. Some folks are a little more seasoned than others in the process, but yeah, I think we're on our like our 6th or 7th one now. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure. But
it's a lot of work to do that, especially right now since everything's so high.
It is. We just have to, we have to cut costs where we can. So we have processes in place to where we have a buyer lined up before we exit. The wholesaler that we use, we typically pay their assignment fee up front. They're vertically integrated, so we save a little on construction. And
nice.
Yeah, so there's but you're only as good as the deals that you can find. And luckily they just show up in my inbox, just because a lot of people know who I am. Yeah, so it's just a matter of vetting them. But it's good learning opportunities for people because, you can teach all day, but until you get out in the real world and actually do the stuff, you're just, it's just all theory.
You gotta be driving for dollars nowadays.
Oh man, I wish. I enjoy driving for a dollar. I just don't have the time, man. I just don't have the time. So we teach how to put marketing campaigns together, and we also teach them how to invest from a distance. So I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. The last 7 deals that I've done have been 2,500 miles away, and all of them I never saw the property in person before we actually started the rehab process. So we teach people how to do it while they're working a full-time job, and what systems to have in place to protect themselves, and how to assess it, and just all the things. And sometimes we don't know what we're going to be teaching until it happens. Like how do
you doing any?
Go ahead.
You doing any foreign investing?
No, I'm not. I'm not confident enough to do it yet because I don't know how financing works in some of these areas. So there's certain things that, I tell people, look, there's certain things you need to understand when you're going to do foreign investing. For example, what's their equivalent of a security instrument? What are what are their laws? How are their laws structured to protect buyers and sellers? What are the disclosure requirements, and what's the equivalent of an appraisal, and all of these different things.
Yeah.
So I'll be doing
a whole different animal.
It is. Typically people that are investing overseas are investing in projects where they can get a return, but it's just too much risk, man. It's just too much risk.
You got any like veterans you got in your system?
Well, I usually let Anthony take care of all the veterans.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's got it nailed down. I'm a part of his team, like on paper. So
are you?
Yeah, so I don't really operate as a real estate broker in that capacity, but when I do, I hung my license at his office down in SoCal. And
you're over he's at Remax, right?
No, he's at
EXP now.
Yeah, EXP.
Yeah, I think he's with Cardone. I think he's with the Cardone group.
Cardone Ventures, yeah. So so that's a branch of what he's doing, Cardone Ventures, and then he's got EXP under Elena's branch, I guess you can
license.
Say. Yeah. So, but I'm not really. It's been a long time since I was doing open houses and all those things, but I'll do it for a friend. I just did one for a referral for somebody, and you know, so
I think I'm too old for open houses. I just hit 54.
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm 54. So I just had my birthday in March. So, but
Oh,
yeah, I expanded my real estate business. I'm waiting. I'm doing 3 certifications in AI right now.
you know what? We have I'm flying somebody in to talk about AI and all the automations for business owners. I'm flying somebody into Medellin, Colombia. That's what we have a business kind of boot camp for 5 days, and I'm flying in
Yeah.
all the consultants for every aspect of business, either for somebody that is starting a business or somebody that wants to scale their business up. So we're going to be down there in October for about 5 days, man, and automations and AI. That's a big topic. I'm just learning it. I'm not qualified to teach it or speak on it, but I do have somebody coming to speak on that. It's interesting.
When is it? When is that? And where are you going to be?
Medellin, Colombia. It's
Colombia.
yeah, first week of Q4, so October 1st through 6th.
Okay.
Yeah. Uncle Dallas, just reach out to me. Uncle Dallas, I didn't get your number. I saw it come up on the screen, but it wasn't in the chat. So can you text it to that number above my head? Uncle Dallas, that's 702-710-8030. And I'll get it. But yeah, man. So I just, when I was starting out as a business, see, our issue was I grew a lot faster than I anticipated. I think a lot of that was because of Clubhouse and
Clubhouse.
yeah. So I didn't plan on scaling it up to this huge thing. So I've spent tens of thousands of dollars that could have been spent elsewhere and been way more effective. And
Yeah.
now that I'm where I'm at, I've bumped my head in so many different areas that if I had somebody that I could consult on every aspect of business instead of trying to do everything myself, I would have been in really good shape. So that's why I wanted to offer it for other people. Yes, sir.
You know what? Let me know when you got some time. I can whatever you need for AI. I'm out there. Companies actually want to pay me to consult with them now.
Okay. Can you text me your info?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you see that number above my head?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
702. Here, I'll just take a screenshot, bro.
Yep. 702-710.
There we go.
And anybody else that number is 702-710-8030. You can call or text. And
gotcha. So how long do you usually go on when you come and do the TikTok thing?
So about an hour and a half. Like I usually do it in the morning, but I was testing some equipment. So I was like, yeah, I can talk about some real estate while I'm here. I had some people call me. So our website is transitioning. So I just brought in a company to redo everything and make sure all of our systems talk to each other. And I had 2 people that were trying to do the consult. So you could go on our website, you could schedule a consult. The new website doesn't have that because I don't want people, I can't justify the time in doing the consults anymore. But they wanted one.
You need a bot to answer all the questions that everyone is going to ask the same question. You need something on your website like a bot that would answer the typical questions because everyone asks the same questions.
Mm-hmm. We have that now.
So you just cool.
Yeah,
cool. I'll have to go on your website and check it out.
Yeah, I don't know if it's active because it's literally, there are a few things. So it's live right now, but there are a few things that we're still testing out. So it should be fully functional by tomorrow.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. So you're moving up in the world. You're taking names and how exciting.
I think people just have it wrong, man. I think that $1 million mark is so attainable for people. I think they just don't think it is. And it's easy to hit the $1 million mark, but you hit a ceiling because if your business isn't scalable, then that you keep hitting your head on that $1 million ceiling. And you're only one person. So even when you outsource everything, if you don't have the proper systems in place and SOPs so that you can scale up properly, then you just it's almost like, imagine the $1 million mark is the water line and you can barely swim. Mm-hmm. You can only stick your nose above it. Like you keep, you stay there. And it's not like you get to keep $1 million. I mean, because you got overhead and all types of other stuff. So people think, so I don't want it to sound
But
like
it's
that.
all mindset. It's all mindset.
Yeah, I think you know, it is mindset. And I think that people don't have anything to scale. So so the way it's marketed to people is, hey, look, I'm going to teach you how to do this thing and you can make $1 million. And that is really misleading because people try to jump ahead of
Yep.
their natural progression. Whereas what should happen is, okay, well, let me make $5,000 first. And then
Yep.
let's see how you made $5,000. And then let's see if we can scale that up. And then that's where you start really looking into all of the things you need to start paying attention to, right? Like having a sales process and making sure your accounting process and your deliverables are where they need to be, and making sure that you're structured the right way and all these different things. But when you just try to shoot for $1 million right off the bat, one, people get discouraged, way discouraged. And two, they want to give up because it doesn't make sense. Right. But if you can make $5,000, then you have something to work with. Right. So I think those are some more conversations that need to be had. I think the Instagram world and TikTok and all that's got people fooled. And
there's delayed gratification, and most people in the younger generation have a problem with delayed gratification. They want it now, and it takes work to get to where you're going to get that $1 million. It takes work.
Yeah.
It takes work for anything. I mean, you have to work to get systems. You have to work to get that, even that $5,000. But once you have that success with that $5,000, hey, I'm building confidence. I got that $5,000 and I did it.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the next level. Let's get $10,000.
Yeah. Yeah. And it also gives you an opportunity to see what works and what doesn't work. So there was a point where I was offering a bunch of different programs. We were having group. There was a group offering. There was one-on-ones. There was a mixture of group and multifamily. And then we had probably about 8 programs, and people didn't know which one to choose. So I ended up scrapping it, just taking 3 and just keeping.
Yeah, I would say give the 3 choices: small, medium, large.
Yeah, that's all it is. And then you start to see a difference. And another thing is, managing your CRM and making sure that all of these things talk to each other the right way. We had all types of. So are you familiar with Go High Level?
Yes, I actually use Go High Level.
Yeah, so we use it now. So Go High Level but prior to that, there was so much redundancy all over the place. Like we had Calendly, and then we had MailChimp, and then we had ClickFunnels, and then we had all of these different systems. And Go High Level is Go High Level is going to take over the world. I think everything is just
Go
right
High
there.
Level. It's the white paper. People get it, buy the Go High Level, and they white paper it, so they make a little bit of money on it too.
Yeah, and it's just been a lifesaver. But what did I have to do to get to that point? I went through 4 web developers, $20,000. I had an online course that I wanted to automate. That was $18,000. By the way, all that stuff was scrapped because I didn't feel like it was good enough. And now people look at our operation, they're like, man, you've got it all figured out. Yeah, but at what cost?
But I had to hit my head 500 times to get to the point where I found something that worked.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey,
that's what it takes.
Hey, Evelyn, Venture U is you said drop the details. If you're talking about Medellin, it's ventureu.live, venture.live. So we're only taking, we have 16 openings, and we haven't started really marketing it yet. We're starting to market it now. And we've already got 4 people that I've invoiced, so it's going to go quick. So those business owners that are looking to get the full package from start to finish, ventureu.live. We're going to be redoing that website too. It's just temporary right now. But yeah, man, it seems like the more you learn, the more there is to know. And I think
really, every day there's another AI. Every day there's another AI. Actually, I was in a class this morning, and I'm learning more about the custom GPTs. I've actually created custom custom GPTs for all the areas in California, including Bay Area. You'll have to look at it.
Oh, right on. Yeah, we'll have to talk,
Yeah.
man. We'll have to talk because I've got to learn how to train this AI that we're using, and I figure I can just upload every single lesson that I have. I've got like 50 of them, and shoot, this AI bot may put me out of business. Start mentoring people on its own.
No, they still need people. We still, one of my trainers says we still need human in the loop.
Yeah,
we still need human in the loop because the humans still need to fix it when it errors out, because it errors out. It's not perfect.
Yeah. Well,
but it's garbage in, garbage out. If you put garbage into AI,
yeah,
that's exactly what you're going to get. People think it's a miracle cure, but it's not. You need to finesse it, and you need to educate it, and you need just like a child. When you have a child, you have to teach it how to walk. You need to teach it how to speak. You need to teach it all of the important baseline things, so it understands who you are and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
In order for it to, in the future, be able to do everything for you.
Yeah, I always make sure I when I go into Chat GPT, I write please and thank you, just in case they take over the world one day. And then they could be like, no, not him. Actually, he's cool.
I don't say please and thank you, because it's like, I don't say please and thank you. I have to hold off on that stuff, because there was actually something came out from Sam Altman about please and thank you.
What did he say?
We're not supposed to say it.
to the AI or period? To
the AI, yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there's something. I'll have to look up the article, but it was kind of funny when I saw it. I'm like, hey, I've been saying please and thank you for a long time, because it's your assistant. But it's not a person.
Yeah.
So
I've been doing
that's where the separation is. It's not sentient yet.
Yeah, no, I have a whole personality with AI. I'm like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong information. I spend a lot of time being polite and typing extra words.
There you go. Hey, maybe you will find out that being polite to it will if it takes over the world, it will say, hey, you said please and thank you. I'm good with you.
He's good. Otis is good. He's one of us.
Otis is a good guy. But I gotta go and. I gotta go pick up some ice for unfortunately a funeral that I have to go to on Saturday.
Hey man,
but
sorry to hear that. Somebody close to you?
It was a good friend. He decided he didn't want to be in this world. It was his choice, but he has a wife and triplets, and just he just
military.
I want to say no. He wasn't military. He was just selfish in leaving. And I guess his demons were stronger than his resolve. Right. So, but you know what? This morning I prayed, and I did a visual for him, because I'm hurting, because he decided to do this, and I was trying to help him with his anxiety and his depression. Mm-hmm. So this morning I did it was John Lee. It was one of John Lee's people that did a session this morning, and it was almost like a meditative session. So I pictured in my mind's eye, I gave him a hug. Yeah. And I said, you can go and rest in peace, and I'm sorry that you had to leave, but you're with God now.
Right on, man.
So. And I think I did that for myself to, just, have gratitude and understand that I'm not God. I don't know what he was going through.
Yeah.
And, I tried as much as I could.
Yeah.
Oh, it got me. Sorry.
It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Well, I appreciate talking to you, man. Keep in touch. You got my, you got that number. So hit me up, man.
Absolutely. Hey, you should talk about T2T. They're a real good organization, and anybody that needs a house, that is in their first responder, they can go to T2T.org. Write that down.
T2T.org. T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they are who they say they are, and they're a nonprofit organization. and they do what they say they're going to do. So
Nice.
I'm like in their corner fighting for them. Hopefully, get more houses in California gifted.
Okay. Amen. All right, I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. You take care. I hope you had a good Easter with your family, and I'll talk at you soon.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Peace, man.
Peace out. What's up, Jamisha? Jamisha always 35 feet from her Bluetooth thing, so I could talk about her until she gets back to the phone. What's up, folks? So Clubhouse, this is gonna be our last week. I think tomorrow or maybe Saturday will probably be our last week on Clubhouse. So we won't be doing the rooms anymore. So make sure I didn't send an invite out for this. What he was talking about is I'm just testing equipment right now. But if you guys got some real estate questions before I tap out of here, you're more than welcome to do that. Venture U was what he was talking about when we were talking about that Medellin trip. So it's going to be a 1 week. What is it? We need to come up with a better name for you. So what we're doing is we have the 4 Data Points Academy is a real estate investing training school. And then we are branching off into sales training, leadership training, and personal development. I'm not leading that. It's the gentleman by the name of Dr. Alfred Smith is leading that. And then we're going to have a division that is health and wellness, and then we're going to have a business acumen division. Venture U is the business acumen. Ascend U is the personal development. So Venture U, we're starting with the business retreats where I'm the one footing the bill. I'm flying in consultants to address every aspect of somebody's business when they're starting up. And it'll be in a villa. I have a private chef. It's going to be taking care of all the food, so people don't have to worry about that. And we're all going to be in the same house for 5 days. We're knocking off at 4 p.m. every day so people can go enjoy Medellin, Colombia. And on the weekends, we're knocking off at 2. So we're going to land Wednesday, settle in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's all business. And then by the time Monday comes around and people are leaving, then they have a blueprint as to what they should be doing for their business, not just, not just some high level stuff. It's certain aspects of it are pertain to their business only. So that's going to be the first one. The next one it's going to be one of 4 cities. The next one's going to be either Dubai, Thailand, Ghana, or there's a 4th one we're considering. I got to look at my list, but those are the top 3. So those will be 2026. And then we'll have a curriculum that goes along with that, and a lot of big stuff to come. So if you guys are ever interested in that number at the top, you can text it or call it, and then we can get you some information on that. That being said, is this I've never done this on Clubhouse where you just start a room. What's up, Steve? Where you just start a room just for nothing. What's the secret code? What's the secret code of relationship? I don't know. Is that Paris? I mean, I don't know what the secret code of relationship is. I don't know. I think it's just treat people with dignity and respect and how you want to be treated. I think that's the secret code. I don't think it's that secret though. That link at the top, folks, is to our website. If you guys are interested in learning how to be real estate investors, of course, most of you have been following me for the last 3 or 4 years. So it's nothing new to y'all. But if you guys want some real estate questions answered, I'll give it about 2 minutes and then I will tap out because it sounds like all the equipment is working. What's up, Steve?
How are you?
Oh man, you've got a good voice. That's a radio voice right there. As soon as you spoke, it made me want to buy something. I'm waiting for you to tell me what.
Oh, I can give you some suggestions on what to buy.
Oh man, you got to do voice. You do voiceovers, don't you?
I have, but I do mostly talk radio type thing.
And that is the voice for it. What brings you up, man? Thank you for coming up, by the way.
The pleasure is mine. My question is, when selling a piece of real estate, how can you decide what goes into the decision-making process when determining whether or not to put money into a property or sell as to the terms?
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is, and you're the expert, I'm not, that if you put money into a swimming pool, like build one when it wasn't there, you're going to lose 50% right off the bat. On the other hand, the best thing to put money into would be a bathroom or a kitchen. You
Yes.
tell me, sir.
So it depends on this. So let's look at the pool conversation first. So when you put in a pool, and I hear that argument all the time, you put in a pool and the value and loss is offset by the step up in cost basis. So for those that don't know, a pool is a capital improvement. So if you buy a house for 400,000, you sell it for 500,000, you got to pay capital gains on the $100,000 you made. Let's say you throw in a $30,000 pool after you bought this $400,000 house. Well, you step up the cost basis now to $430,000. So when you sell it for $5, now you only have to pay taxes on the $70,000 that you made. So you have to look at, is that worth it for you? But there's also some things that you can't quantify. It's not always just about money, right? The enjoyment of the pool, like now, so that contributes to the quality of life of a family while they're there. If of your family while you're there, that's not something that's going to show up on, a P&L or a balance sheet. You can't really quantify that. So sometimes it's not about the money. It's about, okay, well, what's our goal here as a family? Now, if I'm selling a property, I have to look at how much money I'm putting into it versus how much it's going to be worth. So there's a balance there, and it's not going to be a one size fits all. Now, if I have the money to put into kitchens and bathrooms, right? That's typically where kitchens and bathrooms are draw the most attention when you have these conversations about what's going to give you the biggest return. Well, it depends on. So, well, let me say this: it will make the property more marketable if you have updated kitchens and bathrooms. But then you have to look at more marketable than what? How much more marketable? And the market really dictates that. There's no way to really pin that down. I've been a broker. I've been licensed for 2 decades. And I hear a lot of real estate brokers trying to get it down to an exact science. When you're in a system where the market determines what somebody's willing to pay, then there is no exact science. So I look at how much money I'm putting into it versus how much more that I can get. Now, there's a small component of that conversation that has to do with the emotional impact that it has on somebody when they first see it. All right. You can't quantify that. Some people have an eye, like myself as an investor. When I go in and I'm looking at a property as is, I can see the potential in it. So I may be willing to pay a little more for an as is than somebody that comes in and they don't have that eye and they just see an ugly house. I don't want that. I don't want to live here. So, I know that's a long way of saying I don't know, but there's a lot of different trains of thought that go with that.
That's perfectly fine. Can I ask you one more question, and
Yes,
then I
sir.
will go back down to the audience and listen? When it comes to front lawns, because we all know about home appeal or whatever.
Mhm.
Talk to me, please, about front lawn versus real grass versus astroturf versus maybe just white gravel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you for asking the question. So I think a lot of it has to do with the climate and where you live. If you were in California, I live in San Mateo, where the average temperature is around 70 degrees. Then maybe a natural lawn is more attractive. But I'm also seeing people go to the artificial grass, and there's different degrees of the artificial grass, right? There's artificial grass that looks real, and then there's artificial grass that doesn't look real. So it depends on the quality of artificial grass. Now, if I take that conversation to Arizona, then I probably don't want grass at all. I want something that's more suitable for that type of environment. If I'm in Kansas, I have property in Kansas too, and it snows up there. Probably don't really, natural grass is probably not where I'm going to go. But in the conversation where we're selling the property, a fresh manicured lawn contributes to the curb appeal. It just makes the property more attractive, and it makes a really good first impression. So again, there's no exact science to it. But if I'm selling a property, I want the first impression to be as positive as I can make it. So power washed if I can't paint it, and a fresh manicured lawn, bushes trimmed and cut, and all of the things that contribute to that curb appeal. What's up, Con?
Yes, how are you, brothers? How are you? Good?
I'm good, man. Where you from? Where you coming from?
I'm from Afghanistan, bros.
What's up, man? What brings you up?
Yes, I'm from Afghanistan.
Okay. Did you have a question for me?
Yes, I have one suggestion that I will share in this group.
Okay. What's your question?
I'm a I'm a pilot, and it will be out of this subject. I need someone to help us per speaking. To I will come to improve my English.
You need someone to get where?
To talk with us in English language. To
Okay.
improve my English.
Okay. So you need somebody to help improve your English?
Yes, yes. Speak with us. Per that I will to improve my English.
Okay. I'm probably not your best bet. I got a C- in English in high school, and that's my first language. So I'm probably not going to be the best person to do that. But I mean, good luck. If I hear of anybody that does that specifically, I can send them your way.
Yes, if anyone possible, please message us, and I will talk with him if he have time. For that reason, to will improve my English.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good time, Rose.
Amen. All right. So if y'all heard them, if y'all, if you guys got the time, then reach out to Khan and practice on the. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. All right.
And I'm sorry. If you find anyone, please share my ID with him.
Okay. All right. They hear you. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I was okay. Anybody want to? I don't know. I got a C- in English. Like I'm like one level above knowing when to write there, and there. Right, the different versions. So I'm probably not going to be your best bet. All right, I'm gonna tap out. Looks like all this equipment is working, and hold on. Looks like all this equipment is working. So I've accomplished what I need to accomplish. Any real estate questions? I will take them before I go. And if there's not, then we can roll out. Steven, what's up, brother? Asia, what's up? What's up, Saeed? What's up, Shay? All right. All right, I'm about to tap out. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. And you know how to find me. Let me start on. Let me see.